Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. And Trump had a cabinet meeting today and said a lot of things that a lot of people are paying attention to. And the media doesn't know what to do. They don't know how to spin the situation. They're even putting out stuff that, oh, no matter what happens in Iran, it's still going to be a mess, because they don't know what's going on. They don't know what Trump's got planned. Is it a waiting game or is it game over? I would say it's both of the above, all of the above. So anyway, what do? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that and a lot of other things. And he's got a lot of balls in the air, and he's having fun being the juggler, keeping everything going. So what do while people come in? I play videos. And he put up a post that says game over, so I might as well play my game over video, right? He put the show it to you, and then what will we do? We'll be like butter and get on a roll.
Dust on my Bible, flags on the line. You laughed at our warnings, called truth a crime. You sold us your secrets, wrapped up like hope. Signed all our futures with a poison note. You sat in your mansions, we prayed in the rain. You cast every favor on a ledger of pain. You thought you were covered, names on a list, private plain pages you swore don't exist. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. You thought she was certain, thought he was too. Shook hands in the back room, said they'll never break through. You mocked every farmer, every steel-toed boo. Called them crazy and bitter while you buried the proof. Now screens start flashing, whole names, young kids, whole world scrolling through the things y'all did. Digital soldiers from the cornfields to Rome say leave our children alone or we're taking you home. Let's go! Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. From the back roads to the big tall towers, patriots worldwide, this the final hour. You can beg, you can bargain, you can scream, you can hide, but the book's been written and your name's inside. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. Nothing's gonna stop what's already signed. Game over.
Storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
I think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give President tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and HE in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for coming in tonight. I am glad to see everybody. I appreciate it very much. I was a little bit up and down about being able to go live. I tell you, we will see how things go. But things are going smooth in the studio, so that's a good thing, right? Todd's here, Tammy's here, Elva's here, Sissy's here, Colette, Cole, Roberto, ha. Let's see, Robin's here. Let's see, who else? Elva. Let's see, who else is here? Tam, we got the younger gang. Ha. Thank you for going by. Buy me a coffee. I appreciate it. Colette, nice to see you. Let's see. Yeah, I saw somebody ask about Miss Spencer. We'll see if she pops in. Hopefully she's feeling better. Right, Tammy? Let's all hope she's feeling better. Let's all, anybody out there has got some aches, pains, and miseries or illnesses, let's hope we all feel better. Hi, Linda Marie. How are you? Let's see. Oh, all right. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. I don't believe I did. But did you get a chance to watch? Hi, Greg. How you doing? A chance to watch Trump's staff meeting, which he pointed out, not many people, no presidents let people in cabinet meetings. I'm sorry, I said staff meeting, cabinet meetings. But I got some clips. We're going to play them. But he's laying stuff out plump and plain about a great many things. About like with J.D. Vance, rounding up some vicious people. He had other words for him too. And told him to go get them, crush them, or words to that effect. So if y'all be a little patient with me tonight, because I'm going to be taking my headphones in and out, because it's hard for me to hear some of these videos the way my setup is. But like with Bruce Springsteen, I played his video. It's hard to hear what he was saying, even though I've listened to it prior to the airing, where I could hear it good. But, one thing I wanted to point out is he's shilling for deep state talking points in the middle of one of his concerts on a teleprompter. And he was opining about the loss of U.S. aid. USAID, which has kicked the props out of the deep state, a.k.a. the Democrat Party, which is a criminal organization. I mean, we're all starting to see that now. And these characters that want to jump ship, and Fetterman included, no, you got to have a come to Jesus meeting before you come in the Republican Party, okay? We're not going to take any more rhinos or half-baked Democrats or whatever the hell you call yourself. Just remember that. And at the risk of, Look here. Pam Bondi battling cancer after DOJ exit. And, that kind of is a little bit of a pluck between the eyes. It's like, what? With Tulsi Gabbard, her husband is where they put out the reason for her stepping aside. And Trump honored her at the cabinet meeting today. I'll play some video of that. And she was also at Arlington Memorial honoring our fallen soldiers, and did a favor for a family who had lost a loved one. And she's being rehabilitated. Tulsi Gabbard is. So we have to really keep an eye on, what is stuff to get clicks, or what is stuff to create doubt, and what is the realness of the thing. But I still say to some degree that there are reasons to get people out of high-profile positions at certain times. You have to have a change of batter, because the enemy is evil and nefarious, okay, and conniving, and they'll stop at nothing. And Donald Trump is the only one who's got the insulation, the temerity, the character, and the close-knit relationship with the U.S. military and the White Hats and intelligence to be able to handle the kind of pressures that are being brought down on people and their families. So, it's only so much you can take. So, but I'm not saying Pam Bondi doesn't have cancer. I hope that they are able to treat her, and same with Tulsi's husband. But I've talked about that before. But what else came up today about Benjamin Netanyahu? Netanyahu admitted to hospital months after cancer treatment. And, it just seemed kind of a cancer mini avalanche of high-profile people that we know of that are dealing with this this illness. So I want to let me get back down here. But anyway, we've got a couple that are going to see it through to the end. Of course, I believe Marco Rubio and Hegseth and J.D. Vance. So that is the A-team, right? The A-team. That's what my dad came up with that name for an eviction group I put together. We come down and get them out. And he said, oh, you're the A-team. But anyway, yeah. Seasoned, hardened, prepared veterans of these situations. But anyway, Donald Trump put this picture up. And, is he reposting stuff that people get these memes off of the CUE board and doesn't really know what's going on? Or do you think he knows what's going on? Because you can find this very same picture on post 4095 on the CUE board. To me, it's a proof. I've said that there was going to be the return of 17 plus. 17 plus. Which I'll just say real quick one time, and please don't put it in the chats, which means Q plus. Okay? Or as Trump is wont to say sometimes, plus, 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 plus. So, anyway, the other post he put up, which I really enjoyed, game over, deep state. And that's what compelled me to, I was thinking, well, I'll change a few videos tonight for my intro, but that takes time. And many times I'm right down to the wire to go up by 10. I want to go up by 9:30, but I never get a chance to do it. So I was like, wow, that's good. I can just put up my game over song. So these are posts just in the last few days. Donald Trump is not showing any signs of losing his humor or staying off their trail. But I tell you what, Cornyn lost to Paxton big time. I mean, big time. And, he looks like he needs a doctor. I'm not making fun of the guy. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. And Trump put up a post congratulating Paxton and, was not overly critical of Cornyn, but he said, we'll work together in the future and blah, 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 blah. But I'm telling you what, this is hitting him hard. John Cornyn makes his last stand against Ken Paxton, and as you know, it didn't turn out very well. But the videos I showed you, I said, man, it looks like he needs a drink. Yeah. He's not looking any better. Here's Ken Paxton with his victory speech here. And I don't know what the concession call was like. Or if Cornyn's going to go in the Senate with a chip on his shoulder, it'd be the stupidest thing he ever did. But I'm wondering, that kind of a physical reaction. I mean, by all accounts, a man of his age, and as long as he's been in the Senate, 20, I don't know, Paxton will tell us, 42 years in government. He should be thankful that he can go home and play with his grandkids or whatever. Not showing that level of distress. Why is that? I don't know. Why do these people cling to power with so much else to do in life, to enjoy in life? I'll never know. But like George Washington, he couldn't wait to get back to Mount Vernon. He served. He was a servant, not an official. But these people love the power. But anyway, here's Ken Paxton.
I'll support President Trump's America First agenda and finally secure our nation's elections by passing the Save America Act. I've taken on big food and big pharma as Attorney General, and I'm going to continue doing that in the Senate because making America healthy again is critical for our nation's future. As Attorney General, I've sued some of the largest companies in the world like Netflix.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I caught. He was talking about the making America healthy again. And Trump was pointing that out in his cabinet meeting. That it's really just a shame with this daggone media that they don't point out how much he's saving this nation in prescriptions. It was a racket. All right, shared by the international community to rip off Americans, okay? And he's put a stop to it. And there's going to be much, much more he's going to be putting a stop to. Trump posted this, which is what's being put in the media. Trump endorsement tracker, I got other pictures that show U.S. Senate at 8 and 8. No, but now it's 9 and 9. Endorsed 101. 101. Same with governorships. Trump is like a steamroller. The movement is like a steamroller. And he'll be the first to tell you the only reason he is because of people like you and me and all the millions of other people who have been toughing it out for 10 years. Toughing it out and taking the slings and arrows along with Donald Trump to get where we are right now. Let me see if I can find it real quick because, Dan Scavino, he put this up. Think, folks, like I said years ago when I started my broadcasting, I said it was going to be a long slog. I said they were going to do everything, including the military and Trump. We're going to do everything to make sure that our conquest, our reclamation of our republic was going to be credited to the American people. At the very worst scenario, okay, if there was no other choice, there would be a military intervention. But it's going to be our victory. 10 years ago today, from Trump Force One, President Donald Trump hits 1,237 delegates needed for the Republican nomination. So, yeah, I'll play it. This was 10 years ago, folks. When we first started getting our hopes up, when we first started this movement. So that's probably going to give me some kind of a copyright strike or whatever. May 26, 2016, or warning, I don't know. I'll have to erase it. So if you see after the broadcast that video, it will probably have no music. I'll have to take it down, or they'll edit the music out. It'll take some time. But anyway, yes, it's been a long slog, just as I predicted when I first did my broadcasts. And we've lost ground, but like Trump has said, there's nothing that can't be fixed. There's nothing we can't make right once we get back in control. Here's another post Trump put. Peace through strength. Now, this situation with Iran, I'll show you some posts where they're trying their best to put a negative light on everything. No matter how things turn out, they want to portray it as Trump has disturbed the calm and peace of the entire globe, whatever. No, there was never calm and peace. And there was a lethal danger that he is addressing that nobody else has addressed. Peace through strength. And I don't believe, and I said it before, that it would be difficult to have strikes and mayhem going on at this time because of the pilgrimage to the Hajj, which is one of the biggest events in Islam. And also, they had a day of celebration today. It's one of the, I don't know all their days. I know they got Ramadan. I know they got this and that. But here you got, man, I'm telling you, New York has fallen. Here's Mom Dami, butt up in the air in the Bronx. How many people there? How many of these people don't even belong in this country? Well, we'll see. As New York City's first Muslim mayor, Zohran Mamdani marked Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice, joining New Yorkers in prayer, blah, 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 one of the most important days. So, that goes along with the Hajj, the pilgrimage to the Hajj. So, Iran is going to, they took pot shots at the U.S., and we did retaliatory strikes, but they would be crazy to go. What they tried to do before was go after the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and all these countries during this, I'm using air quotes, holy period. Okay? So, yeah, it is a waiting game. But I'm also of a mind that it is game over, too. Just a matter of time. Hi, Felix. Yeah, that's what they want to do, conquer, Elva. That's what they're doing. And hey, you look at London and you look at New York, and instead of flying planes in the buildings, they just, hi, Judy, they just link hands with like-minded politicians in America and cheat their way into positions of power, and they never give it up, right? Like, now, this thing with Hassan Piker, Let me find it. I'm thinking this is the introduction to what's going to happen to a lot of people. He's looking per offense 9 years or 10 years in jail. Where's that video of him? Here he is. Here he is with some bonehead talking about, I've listened to it, so I can tell you, he's talking about he'll have his contact in Cuba. He's telling this guy, I get you into Cuba. Yeah, you want to go? We can go. And he'll have his contact in Cuba get old. And they said, oh, indirectly, through his contact, sounds to me like he's talking about somebody in the government, okay? Making illegal arrangements for him to play footsies over there with the communists in Cuba. So anyway, he's going to be telling on people, okay? Because it's per offense. He could be looking at multiple decades in jail. Pack up your hush puppies and go back to Turkey, okay? Hassan. Now, he is a counterfeit citizen. I don't give a damn if anybody doesn't like that term or not. My understanding is that both his parents were not citizens, and they had him in America, and that falsely made him a birthright citizen, and then they took him back to Istanbul or where the hell they were from, and then he came back to America. So anyway, you better shag, buddy. Get your passport and get your fat uncle Chunk Uger and all of y'all beat feet to Turkey.
I want to go to Cuba. Would you be down?
I fucking love Cuba.
Oh yeah, you'd be down?
Yeah, I filmed a documentary there once.
The Cuban government actually hit my contact from the embassy and told him that if the only thing stopping us from coming to Cuba was the consistent internet access, we can make it happen.
Yeah, Cuba is sick.
Wait, the government reached out to you?
So yeah, of course. It's well, not reached out to me. There's there's a middleman there. Because I had a doctor from Cuba. Cuba does this thing called medical missions, and they've been doing it since I believe like the 70s, and it's incredibly successful. They have a massive, very robust like medical program because kind of they have to. Because they're under an incredible sanctions regime by the United States of America that the rest of the world thinks is abhorrent, except for America and Israel that keep consistently vetoing it over and over again. But this has created a...
Yeah, I guess he was doing it under the guise that he needed some kind of medical care or something. But it ain't going to save him. It isn't going to save him. And I think, this colluding with foreign governments or aiding foreign governments, that is going to tie back into a lot of this other stuff we're dealing with, a lot of the other clowns we're dealing with, kind of like Ilhan Omar, Mamdani, and we can sit here all day and name names. People that are working with foreign governments. And but then I see stuff like this. And I thought he was gone. Didn't you think he was gone? Mahmoud Khalil? Look at AOC there. He lied on his green card application. He was tied up with a group that was linked to Hamas. He was one of the spokesmen. But anyway, anti-Israeli activist Mahmoud Khalil is taking his case to the Supreme Court in a final desperate bid to dodge deportation. I thought he was gone. Well, I give myself solace thinking, well, once this character and Kilma Abrego Garcia get tossed out, the rest of them will just pop the cork and all of it will flow out of here. They'll all go. after court upheld orders to kick him out of the country. So who's financing this? Who are the attorneys that are playing this game? They're getting money. You better damn well believe it. From who? The 31-year-old Columbia University graduate faces deportation to Algeria or Syria after a string of losses in immigration court and federal appeals. This latest move comes after the Third U.S. Court of Appeals in Philadelphia rejected his request to rehear the case. He was arrested by ICE agents in March of last year. Can you believe this? An immigration judge in Louisiana ruled September 25 that Khalil must be deported because he lied on his green card application. There's more to the story, more details. You can go to Christina Guai's page. But this gives you the nuts and bolts of it. Let me tell you, these attorneys, you think they got to get out of bed and go help Mahmoud Khalil for nothing? At the Supreme Court level? I don't think so. So we're going to get to the bottom of it. Of a great many things. We got to the bottom of Bob Menendez, U.S. Senator. The media hardly ever talks about a sitting senator sitting in federal prison for gold bars he got from foreign entities. Here's his son. Bob Menendez's son. Congressman Rob Menendez, like worms in a clump of dirt. Democrat New Jersey gets heckled. Oh, that happens to be where they're raising hell at the ICE. I showed you a video of it. Gets heckled by a lone pro-ICE counter-protester who asks about how his dad is doing. Bob Menendez was convicted in a political fraud case and says that Menendez is responsible for the death of Dianera Cortez. Well, he goes off on this guy and curses at him. Hey, it's not me cursing, it's him. This is a corrupt Democrat, okay? Getting called out to his face.
All of this is problematic. All of this is what we have to think about when we overhaul our immigration system.
Hey, how's your dad?
No, I think it.
How's your dad, Congressman? Have you been using the past 2 days?
Yeah, I have. Okay. So the delay was on Sunday when I came here at 8 o'clock at night, and was not allowed in for over 18 hours.
Congressman, you helped kill Dianera Cortez. You helped kill her.
Do you believe pregnant women should be in there right now? Do you believe pregnant women? What? When they commit no crime?
You just have to sign a paper and go home.
Anytime you want, you can go home. Anytime you want, you can go home.
How's your dad?
Fantastic.
How's your dad?
Fuck you.
How's your dad? Tell me more.
You know what? Hey, look at that. You believe in due process?
They got the process to do.
You should believe in due process. You know it. You are a liar.
Citizens don't get as much process as illegal. Citizens don't get as much process as illegal.
Two wives are illegal.
They don't get as much process as illegal. How's your dad, Congressman? Get the fuck out of here.
Alright, I get the last question.
Hit a nerve. He came close to committing a battery there. Did you see that? It don't take much to commit a battery. Now there's assault and battery, and there's just battery. But yeah, he was being very aggressive because man, they're falling apart. They're falling apart. Oh, here during that big day, whatever it's called, that the Muslims are celebrating. Who's this celebrating with what's his face, Zoran in New York? It's Ilhan Omar, and Ilhan is not wearing her turban. She's wearing a hijab, or whatever they call it. And you'll hear. Well, I'll let her do the talk. It's hard to hear, but you can hear it.
Most importantly, we to one another. Because when we join together with devotion to our neighbors, our community, and to this country, we can bring light into the dark.
Look at Zoran back there. Got the evil eye going out in the crowd. She said it was going to bring dark to light. Stealing our language. I don't know if it made it in that clip or not. Here's some of the idiots at the ICE facility. Note, Mark Wayne Mullen had been catching some fire. He's going to defend himself here some and give, I guess, some strategy points. But everybody's like, Andrew Branca put up a video. Why aren't these people in jail? How come they're not being arrested? And, you know, he's shown separate instances where clearly the people should be arrested. And you know what? I don't know if I'm right or not. But I'm thinking, why be in a hurry? Because if you arrest them right there on camera, they get their names, they get in front of a sympathetic judge, they're out. It increases the chances of a mishap or something really bad happening that they're trying to set up anyway. What do we talk about facial recognition? What do we talk about counter surveillance on the ground? People that are counter infiltrating the infiltrators, taking names and documenting. If they commit a felony, you got a long time to arrest them, just like they chased after the J6 people. People who didn't break a thing, people who didn't even raise their voices, people who walked in the Capitol because the police invited them. They waited and hunted them down a half a year later, kicked in their doors at 3 o'clock in the morning and drug them off and put them through hell and ruin their lives. I'm not saying Mark Wayne Mullen's going to do that, but some of them he will. Some of them he will. Sometimes it's better just sit back and watch, gather information, and if you got them dead to rights on camera committing a felony, you take your time. And the other thing you can do is, I guarantee that crowd gets thinner every day. Because you identify people who shouldn't be in the country because you know they're there. They're trying to hide their face. They're screaming and yelling. They're backing up these lunatics. Take your time. And then when the least expected, ICE agents are knocking on the door. And they won't be at the next protest. You know? So anyway, I'm going to put my headphones in and play Mark Wayne Mullen. That would be, can you all hear me good? That would be my strategy. You know, I wouldn't let them sucker my crew into another Alex Preddy situation or whatever. If you can manage it, you know, it's aggravating, it's a nuisance, but you can manage it. But you can also document and you can also act later. Outside of the immediate event where it would cause more harm than good, and you run the risk of them getting a sympathetic judge. They go jet shopping and everybody is out that day and bad-mouthing ICE and showing other troublemakers, look, I did all this and I got out because the judge says ICE is no good. So you avoid all that. Get them at the right time. But anyway, let's hear Mark Wayne Mullen.
House today, Sean, and I said, you know, if they're going to not allow us to go out and arrest the worst of the worst, and then when we call for assistance at the facilities, that the street, it belongs to the city. If it belonged to us, we would take care of it, but it belongs to the city, and they're barricading our employees from coming in and out of the facility, then why are we processing international flights into the airport there? And we are currently, which we're not initiating yet, but we're currently drawing up plans to say, listen, in these sanctuary cities where the local radical left Democrats aren't allowing us to do our job and enforce federal laws, then we shouldn't be processing international flights into their cities either, because they don't want us to enforce immigration, but they want us to process immigration at their facilities. Nothing about that makes sense to me.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, I gotta get used to this setup now with the microphone. But yeah, practicing my booms. Ha ha ha. But anyway, he is not going to allow undocumented people to go into these sanctuary cities to begin with. You know, you got to take a bus, you got to walk, you got to do, hitch a ride. No more flying people in. That is a big point. I think I have another clip of him, which I'll play when I come across it. Let me see who all's here. So let me get that off the screen. I can see the chats a little better. But anyway, hi Sparky, how you doing? Yeah, let me see. Who did I miss? Sherry's here. Jackie's here. Oh, I don't see Miss Mindersu yet. Well, let's all hope she's doing well. Hi, Wanda. Let's hope she's doing well. Anyway, here's another post from Trump about this Talicaro guy, Talicaro, whatever the hell his name is. This week on crime, open borders, Democrat can never be allowed to represent the great people of Texas. His values are the exact opposite. President DJT. Yes, we will, Tammy. Pray for Miss Mindersu. Hi, sweet dreams. Daydreams, how you doing? Sweetness. I'll call you Sweetness. Yeah, let's hope she's doing all right. Just showing you how, like I say, Trump is keeping up the truce. When things get quiet, that's when you got to wonder. When things get quiet. ACE cognitive tests. Obama 0, Biden 0, Trump 3. Now, Joe Biden put out no, she didn't put out the video, but she was given an interview where she thought Joe Biden was having a stroke. And the debate scared her. I wonder if I'll get to that too. Let me finish up with Zoran Mom Dummy. Here he is. Here's a dummy. Is this where he's going to confiscate everybody's property? Block by block. Typical commie stuff. I can't believe that can't be something you get arrested for trying to do that stuff. It's criminal confiscation. I mean, it's deprivation of rights under the law, something. I don't know. But apparently, with all these attorneys that are twisting the law in lawfare, they feel they have the right.
Through our new citywide campaign, Fix the City, we will focus on the worst landlords in New York City. When necessary, we will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers. And for buildings that have suffered chronic neglect, we will work to transfer ownership to responsible stewards. Stewards that include community land trusts, nonprofits, or even the tenants themselves.
Yeah, it's all free. Yeah. All the commies are cheering. Years ago, I talked about, I had a marina many years ago, and this woman and her husband pulled up in a convertible BMW. And, hey, this is nice. We're thinking about getting a boat. Okay, nice to meet you. And the way you got there, you drove down a back road along the waterfront. And it was kind of in a out-of-the-way county, you know. And she said, what are they going to do about all those houses? I said, well, what houses? All the houses we passed by, they look terrible. What are they going to do with them? I mean, this is a county where people lived for generations. And they pass their homes on to their kids or whatever. And they might not be bright yellow with a white picket fence or whatever she thinks is good looking. They might be a little rough around the edges, you know, but people get up and go to work every day. And she said, what are they going to do with them? Why don't they just tear them down so you got a better view? I said, because people live in them. And a few minutes went by and started asking about, you know, the availability of. I said, I'm booked up. I haven't got any slips here available. But leave your number and I'll get back. I don't want people like that around me. But that's the mentality you deal with, where they push for laws where some criminal mentality like this can come in and say, we're going to give it to good stewards. Those houses along the waterfront that's been in a family for generations looks a little too beat up. We're gonna fine them. We're gonna send them letters to do this and that or else. And then the fines we'll put interest and penalties on them every time they don't pay the fine. We'll tie it to their real estate bill, and then we'll run them right to hell out of town. That's what they say. That's what they want to do. So I don't know where the hell she ended up, but it wasn't around me. So that's how they operate. Always for the good. Everybody's best. Hi, P. I'm just calling you P because nice to meet you. Kathy, nice to meet you. Oh, a plumber, you say. That's right, fancy word for ceiling. Hi, Sandman. Nice to see you. I was thinking that too. Is it on purpose? I mean, was this guy brought into waking people up? Because you'll never please them. You know, if they want your property and they got some mechanism they can use to steal your property, they'll exaggerate. It all goes back to what Kamala Harris said. All I got to do with my signature, I can ruin somebody's lives. They get the power where they can destroy somebody's life with a signature. They will use it. Michigan Senate candidate Abdul El Said. Listen, Michigan is damn near gone. I mean, damn near finished. And I mean, I believe it's almost their whole state and local government is taken over by people, Muslims. I'll just say it. If this guy wins, I think they get a majority. I'm not sure. It ain't good. But he says immigration law is not criminal law. Immigration law is civil law. It's like getting a park ticket. Well, that's a lie. Taqiyya. He's practicing taqiyya, or he's an ass. He's a dumbass. He could be both. But no, it's a civil crime when you come in. But after I don't know what it is, 15 minutes or 15 days. It ain't very long. You stay, it turns into a felony. Okay, it turns into a federal crime. But this is the kind of crap they pump into people's heads.
ICE. Now, what I would like to ask you is, ICE is simply the enforcement mechanism for democratically elected laws of the people. Now, for a party who has talked about the threat to democracy, is it your position that you do not want to see the will of the people, the democratically elected laws, enforced?
First of all, Will, you and I both know that immigration law is not criminal law, immigration law is civil law. It's like getting a parking ticket. So the idea that we should have a paramilitary force that is weaponized on our streets to enforce civil law seems to me to be a bit over the top, particularly considering the fact that the current president is weaponizing.
If I was there, that's what I'd ask him. Are you just unaware or ignorant of the law, or are you practicing takia? You're lying on purpose? A shield of faith. Is that what you're doing? See what he says. Because it's one or the other, or both. Oh, I want to show you. I want to show you this counter drone measure. I'll play it twice. This is in. This is a Chinese designed anti-drone drone. This is how sophisticated it's getting. And look at the size of it. I mean, it's got the extension for the propellers on the side. But for the most part, it's the size of a sawed-off shotgun. I mean, and apparently it's got some kind of tracking mechanism. I'll play it twice. I don't know if it's got music or not. Daggone it. We'll find out.
哇操，牛逼！好，牛逼！配平了，知道电脑了吧？
Well, I cut the music off on the last part. Yeah, it's some kind of tracker on there. So it won't be long before we're, I'm trying to cut my speaker back on. Before we're, there we go. I don't want to get, I guess I'll get some kind of copyright on that. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. I get rid of this drone footage. This is somewhere over Russia. This is a Ukrainian drone that is almost identical to the Shahed drones. The Shahed drones that have the weed eater motors in them, okay? And it was shot down, and you'll see what kind of ordnance it can carry. Yeah, the big ones, they got enough in there to ruin your day. And some of the smaller ones, like they use I got some footage of these lucky guys right here. These are guys, I'll play this on loop too. Guys rolling down the road, and they got their camera in their vehicle. And one of the attack drones comes at them. And usually it's a hit. I don't know if he steered his way out of it or what he did. I know one thing, it was close. That was close. Yeah, that would wipe out a vehicle. It wasn't enough, as much as the first drone I played. Yeah, pistol grip, Todd, yeah. It looked like the interceptor just kind of crashed into it, right? Anyway, here's the post from Trump. It is critically important that the CFTC's Federal Trade Commission. Exclusive authority over prediction markets is maintained, and that they will thrive. Under my leadership, we are setting rules of the road that are the gold standard for the states. We cannot have, here we go, scum like Chris Christie, Letitia James, Tim Walsh, and J.P. Pritzker setting the rules. Other countries after this new form of financial market, and we want to remain at the top. Likewise, and even more importantly, where we are currently the crypto, Bitcoin, etc. capital of the world, other countries are trying diligently to replace us in that capacity. But we won't let that happen. It is a major industry, and we must protect it. Mike Seelig, CFTC chairman, and respected by all, is doing a great job. Okay. He named some people there, one of whom is Letitia James, and the usual scumbag. But guess what? Letitia James, by all rights, she should be getting ready for court. She should be charged with what she did. But what did I see earlier today? Let me find it. She's stirring up trouble. She doesn't want to have Trump have any success. Look here. FIFA, you know how much Trump was proud of getting the World Cup, right? FIFA subpoenaed over World Cup ticketing practices and pricing. I thought, well, who the hell would do that in America? Well, you guessed it, if you guessed it. The Attorney General of 2 northeastern states issued subpoenas to FIFA on Wednesday as part of an investigation into the organization's World Cup practices. New York Attorney General Letitia James and Jersey, Jennifer Davenport, said that their offices, along with the New York City Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, are investigating whether fans were misled about the locations of the seats they were buying and whether FIFA's public statements about that's how they're using our tax money to try to sully an event that Trump is very proud of. This is how I said they're nefarious, they're evil, they're conniving. Whatever, FIFA declined to comment on what just, I hope they come up with something where they could just go ahead and arrest them. Like this guy. Who's this guy? I saw somebody put in the comments, why aren't they praying in the mosque? They're intimidating us. Look at this lump. BLM shirt. And got the wasabi beard, I guess that is. What did he do? NYPD is currently searching for a black male suspect wearing a BLM shirt after he allegedly punched a 78-year-old man in the face before robbing him. Oh, he's just collecting jizya for the Muslims. How much you want to bet? He's Muslim. Do your thing, Internet. If you have info, contact a tip hotline. There's the number, 800-577-TIPS. They're on top of the world there in New York. They're on top of the world. They've taken over. And we got to get them out. Just that simple. But people are fighting back a little bit. Look at Derek Chauvin's mom. It's funny because I put a comment in one of these lefties. They were yapping about Charlie Kirk and trying to put it in the same basket as George Floyd. And I gave the correct answer, George Floyd wasn't no Charlie Kirk. And free Derek Chauvin. Well, here we go. Derek Chauvin Legal Defense Fund, give, send, go. Chauvin Legal Defense. Right? This legal defense fund is set up by Derek Chauvin's mother to pay for legal representation in our ongoing effort for justice in the courts. If the physician examining George Floyd afterward, did the autopsy, and other medical personnel were testifying there wasn't anything Chauvin did to cause him to lose his life. It was strictly from an overdose. He tried to hide his drugs. He swallowed them. Well, so if that ain't true, he took too many before the cops got there. Something happened to cause him to OD. You don't put a cop in jail because of it. Why? He didn't give him mouth-to-mouth. That wouldn't have helped either. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have given that thing mouth-to-mouth. What are you talking about? But anyway, here's some creeps at the to get this woman's bullhorn. Who is this woman? How much you want to bet they know? You know, I hope you all remember to give me a thumbs up because it helps the video get around. I forgot to ask about that earlier in the broadcast because I haven't seen Wayne either. He usually reminds me. Or Miss Sue. So anyway, I put a link in the description for Buy Me a Coffee because this is a totally viewer-supported channel. And I'm not monetized on YouTube. So if you want to support the channel, I greatly appreciate it. And, you know, the younger gang went by and helped out. Where's my special effects? Here we go. Let me get them up there. Trying to be sideways with me. What are these crazy looking effects? They're not the ones I usually use. Oh. Huh. These are crazy. Here we go. There they are. They put a new board. They gave me a new special effects. I didn't know that. Must have upgraded stuff. But anyway, Mike and Bev and Younger Gang, were the latest to go by. Kapow, kapow. I appreciate it. And Miss Minder Sue dropping a Moab, kaboom. And Wayne and Sparky and Robin, I appreciate it. Kapow, kapow. So I put the link in the chats around the 1 hour mark. If anybody wants to help support the channel, I do appreciate it. But anyway, here's a dizzy lefty woman chimping out. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. Well, it's about a white liberal woman because they chimp out worse than anybody I know. But anyway, here she is acting a fool.
Fetch a man, all the way fetch a man, or shame!
That's it.
Yeah, oh, what do you do? What are you gonna do? Back up! Back up! Don't put your hands on it! Back up! Are you so big? Just come here! Let me see! Where's the megaphone? Where's the megaphone? You will not touch these children!
Children?
Let me see. Shame on you!
Batons down!
Whole bunch of kids! Children! Lost your children in this country! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Step back!
Shame on you! Shame on
Look at that balding guy in the suit. Did you notice that? Where's he at? Right there. See him with the tie on, the glasses, with the suit on, faking like he's going to fall down. How much you want to bet? He's a politician or a lawyer looking to make a scene, looking to make things worse than they actually are. Yeah, I got a little article that says they're going to start going after these people. They're supposed to be officers of the court, if it's an attorney, that are knowingly twisting the law around. So anyway, yeah, watch him try to maximize it.
And we should be ashamed!
Back up! You're not
How does it feel? Back up! How does it feel? For 400 fucking want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off of our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off of our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off of our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want you guys out of our streets. We want peace. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ICE off our streets.
Andrew Branco was pointing out. Andrew Branco was pointing out that the bullhorn close to the ear is an assault. I mean that she could be charged with that, you know. But the problem is these liberal judges, they let them go. They let them go. There's one being impeached, and I say you don't have to go to impeachment. Where was that? And it's got to be something apparently so flippin' serious. Let me see if I can find it. And who's to say that'll actually work? We get with these mealy-mouthed Congress people we have. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Here it is. Who's this woman here? See that little girl there in the upper right? She's no longer alive because of the judge you see on the screen. Governor Ron DeSantis pushes Florida's legislature to remove the liberal judge who released a career criminal who went on to take a 5-year-old child's life. You have the power and you have sufficient numbers in your chambers to impeach this judge, Tiffany Baker Carper. Until you start holding these judges accountable, they're going to continue finding ways to benefit the criminal elements. The Florida governor is pushing hard for accountability after Leon County Circuit Court Judge Tiffany Baker Carper released a convicted child S3 ex-offender who then took the life of a 5-year-old child. It's disgusting. DeSantis repeatedly called on the House to impeach the judge, saying her decision directly contributed to the death of Melissa Missy Mogul in Tallahassee. They never have to face consequences for their actions. Man, that makes you sick, doesn't it? Let me play some of Trump's cabinet meeting videos. Where's my microphone? Now, one thing, Clandestine put up a lot of stuff about uranium, one. And one thing, I got a short clip of Trump where they ask him, is it okay if China or Russia handle the uranium? And he was like, no. Unequivocal. No. I would not be happy with that. Wait a minute. Let me see. That way I'll know I got the right clip or not. Let me get my headphones in. There we go. Let's see. Is this a clip? Let's see. It's a quick clip. And I got some longer clips. We'll just play them one after the other. So, yeah, you can't barely hear the reporter, but they're asking if Russia and China could take the uranium.
China taking their stockpile of highly enriched uranium, and have they offered to?
No, I wouldn't be comfortable. That would not make me comfortable.
Yeah, that's the end of that. No. Because I think, did I put that in the title? I felt like putting it in the title. uranium fingerprints. We want fingerprints, where that came from. And there are fingerprints on there. Who's are we going to find? Anyway, here's Trump again. Let's see what the topic is.
It shows this radical left Democrats' priorities when they decide to go out and protest a detention center where we're housing rapists, child predators, murderers, drug dealers, and they choose Memorial Day of all the time to go protest something that they say that that it's because they're on a hunger strike when there was only a handful of individuals that was refusing to eat because they want their ethnic group or their ethnic right food. Well, they can go back to their country and get whatever food they want. The fact is, we're giving them the calories they want. This isn't Holiday Inn. We're giving sanitation. But for the Democrats and the governor, like Governor Sherrill and Senator Kim and Senator Booker, to go out and do something like this of all the days is very frustrating. And we see Antifa signs are literally out there. The local police literally refusing to respond. They barricade it, not allowing our employees to come in and out. ICE has to go out there, remove the barricade, and then you have one of the senators complain because he got splattered with a pepper ball. I'm sorry, you probably shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, I showed that senator last time I went live, getting his eyes washed out. They said he was trying to help and trying to calm things down. I don't care. He should have been out there like Mark Wayne Moan said. And yeah, they said that they started the hunger strike 3 days before the protests. And by the time the protesters got there, they were claiming the guy lost 30 pounds in 3 days. So, maybe they'll come up with some coordination to mislead, defraud, and as an excuse to hamper law enforcement. I don't know. Maybe they'll come up with something like that. Here's something else from Trump.
Before asking Vice President Vance to speak about these efforts, I want to express our tremendous gratitude to our outgoing Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who's a terrific person, actually. Come up with some findings that were pretty good. And Tulsi's worked tirelessly to restore trust and focus on the intelligence and with the intelligence community. They all respect.
I think this is where Trump talks about the vicious thugs and criminals and tells them to go get them. I hope so. Let's see.
Respected her. They listened to her. She gave us leads that were pretty much, people thought they were dead and they weren't dead. They were right there, and she was able to expose a lot of things that we used at the FBI with Cash and with Todd and with JD and everybody else. It was amazing. She dramatically reformed the Office of Director of National Intelligence and cutting the staff by 40%, and she prevented countless terrorists and cartel members from entering the United States. She exposed mountains of evidence related to the Russia hoax, probably the greatest hoax in the history of our country. Although, when you look at the fraud coming out, there's a lot of them. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of them. But the Russia hoax, a great hoax, a very dangerous hoax too, and revoked security clearances of officials involved, and she declassified numerous historic documents of special public interest, including related to the JFK and RFK assassinations, which everybody wanted to see. And we're now releasing a lot of things having to do with space. It's people are very interested in it. It actually became the #1 topic. We're releasing a lot of information having to do with extraterrestrial things, and people are totally fascinated by it. It's amazing. I wasn't sure if they would enjoy it. It's literally trending #1. Can you believe it? So a lot of people out there are like it, but we're releasing all of that information. And Tulsi, we're praying for you and for your husband. Her husband's not feeling great, but he's going to feel great soon. You're going to get him better. And he's a wonderful guy. So just say hello and thank you for the great work you've done. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So I was wrong. That was a nice little tribute he gave to Tulsi Gabbard. And she, let me see if I can get to it. before she's leaving, she's putting in formal criminal referrals for whoever was behind the Russia hoax. Let me see if this is Greg Jarrett. Long hidden documents reveal first Trump impeachment was a total fraud. Newly classified documents show the first Trump impeachment was orchestrated fraud. DNI Tulsi Gabbard says, sending criminal referrals to the DOJ. So, hey, it's a matter of time. Trump's got a lot to do, and he's got a lot to stay focused on. Going around here and trying to get distracted by what's his face, Massey BS about Epstein Island. We'll get all those creeps. Do you think Epstein Island was the only place this kind of garbage was going on? We know about them hunting human beings, okay? And there's places like this all over the place, but it's always the same crowd. It's always the elites or the fancy themselves elites. Now, this was posted by Dan Scavino, Wall Street Journal. It's a video. I don't know why, but it's scrolling on the phone there. The app for Trump accounts will launch Thursday. Here's what to know. Trump accounts. Let me see what it says. Millions of children are eligible for the new investment accounts and possibly $1,000 in federal money. Well, at least the Wall Street Journal's reporting on it. Account activation. Activation will begin for families who have already enrolled in the program. The app, built by Bank of New York Mellon and Robinhood, will be available in the Apple and Google app stores. Families who haven't yet enrolled can do so at trumpaccounts.gov. Have you heard CNN or any of these other creepy networks let the American people know that their child can get $1,000 start in life? A Trump account? Of course not. Here we go. They portray it as, I don't care about the midterms. And you should see the comments that were under this. Like Trump doesn't care about the people. Trump doesn't care about the voters. This is ABC, I believe. We're seeing it, ABC. President Trump said during a cabinet meeting on Wednesday, he isn't concerned about making a deal soon with Iran, adding he doesn't care about the midterms. In what he said, he thinks the regime calculation that he has to negotiate a deal before what are expected to be highly competitive midterms elections in November. No, what he said was he cares more about keeping a maniacal regime from having an atomic bomb for the safety of the world. That's what he said. That's more important to him than midterm elections. But they won't get it right. They never will. Let me see. I got another clip of Trump here. Where is everybody tonight? There he is. Here he is. Maybe this is the one. I hope I got it. I got it uploaded.
It's not going to be a real deal because Obama had that horrible JCPOA, whatever it was. It was the worst deal. It was a path for Iran to have a nuclear weapon very quickly. Years ago, they would have had a nuclear weapon. We might not be here talking about it right now. They would have had a nuclear weapon. And frankly, Obama picked the wrong country. He should have picked another country. I won't tell you what it was. But he picked the wrong country when he picked Iran.
He picked the wrong country. Clandestine said, "Did you catch that? When talking about Obama's horrible Iran deal, Trump said Obama picked the wrong country. He should have picked another country. I won't tell you what it was. He should have picked another country. I won't tell you what it was. What did he mean by that? Trump is just blatantly telling us Obama offshored weapons of mass destruction and perhaps was looking at multiple options to do so. Trump is brazenly flirting with the big secret, which is that the Obama administration gave U.S. secrets away and put weapons of mass destruction in the hands of deep state proxies. That's what all of this is about. It's about cleaning up the deep state's global network of rogue weapons of mass destruction and illegitimate regimes. Now, Clandestine clarified his background, and I have been putting him up quite a bit. And after you hear this, you may get a bigger appreciation of why I refer to him, because part of it is he codifies what I'm thinking anyway. I agree with most of what he says. The other part of it is his pedigree. His pedigree. He wasn't born yesterday, and his father was involved. Well, I'll go ahead and read it. My father was an officer in the U.S. Army and worked for the Department of Energy. Q clearance. At one point, he served the 21st EOD Weapons of Mass Destruction Company, which is an elite and unique weapons of mass destruction response unit. He described it as the James Bond unit, and their job was to disable and dispose of WMDs, namely nuclear weapons, anywhere on the planet. If such services were ever needed, they are the team that goes in to deal with the nukes after Delta Force or whoever wipes out any hostiles. As a boy, I was frequently brought along to training sessions, hung out with the other soldiers, lived on U.S. military bases around the world, and was exposed to this world of the U.S. Army from birth. From the time I turned 14, let me expand this. I decided I was going to join the Army too, with wild ambitions of saving the world. The day after I graduated high school, I left for Fort Benning, and the rest is history. So what's my point? My life experiences have uniquely prepared me for this exact moment in history. Saving the world from rogue WMDs runs in my blood. It's like I was made for this. Now you know why I'm so locked in on the uranium in Iran. And he posted this picture. That's probably the call sign for the WMD unit. So that's why I give him weight, and I read a lot of his stuff. And you all may have recalled that I, in the past, have discussed my father working for 25 years with International Business Machines, and better known as IBM. And he was in the head manager in the weapons procurement division. So that's, like Forrest Gump says, that's all I got to say about that. He was in top management, I'll put it that way. Who's this guy? Is he a nice guy or what? I don't think he's a nice guy. Let me see. Midas Trash. Look at the kind of stuff they're getting together. Former Obama Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes. Was that one of the names I showed the other night? Ben Hamas Rhodes? Maybe I'm wrong. Does anybody remember in the chats? Hi, Stanton, how you doing? Anybody remember in the chats? But he's now buddying up with Midas Touch. And I got a sneaking suspicion this group is going to get themselves in some trouble. But anyway, America is the kind of the rogue nation in the world. We're a rogue nation. Yeah, because we want to break away from the principalities, okay? Rhodes breaks down the collapse of U.S. global standing. Trump has got them all over barrel. They're all waiting to hear for leadership directives from Trump. All of them. The hidden costs of the Iran war. What were the costs of having a dirty bomb go off in Chicago or New York? And what Democrats must do to rebuild? Rebuild what? Their criminal empire? So keep that guy's name in mind. I have to check that out. Ben Rhodes. Huh. Trump made mention of something we looked at the other night. Takeover. As a matter of fact, that's what I ended up the video with. And I also brought up that same weekend in a separate crime area, there were 19 shootings in Chicago over Memorial Day weekend. And Trump said teen takeover in Chicago, 5 officers badly hurt. Mayor and governor are terrible, should call for help. What did Trump say about the Insurrection Act? If they won't do anything about it and people are getting killed or hurt, there's a reason for the Insurrection Act. Isn't that what he said? Here's a boy in Scotland. Did y'all see this? Scottish boy goes viral for refusing to bow to Allah during scout trip to Islamic mosque. Good for him. And they got a picture of Mel Gibson there. Yeah. How much guff do you think he's going to get? Parents raised him right. So, even Putin put out a statement. Well, I shouldn't say even. I mean, Russia crosses, 11 time zones. But like I'm saying, things are low key. I'm not saying it's not going to change because of this Eid al-Adha and the pilgrimage to Hajj. Okay? Trump's kind of got them in a little box. They can't do the nuisance strikes that they were doing on Kuwait and all their neighbors because they really would be a pariah. They really would have everybody their brother man at them. So that's why Trump is, able to play it cool right now. And also, we have the full authority and right to respond to attacks in a defensive manner, right? President Putin congratulated Muslims across Russia for that holiday I just said, praising Muslim organizations for their contribution to social harmony, family values, and patriotism. Putin said the ancient holiday reminds believers of the values of kindness, justice, charity, and piety, kind of like the guy that punched that 78-year-old man in the face. But anyway, they do have a large, they have all kinds of people in the Russian Federation. And, they had their share of radicals. Remember the Chechen rebels that took over a school and they tried to rescue them? How long ago was that? And they put some knockout gas in the school. But anyway, so they've had their dealings with the, I got to use words I don't get in trouble for. I'll just say radical jihadists, But anyway, everybody's keeping it cool until after this thing with the Hajj is over. And not to say that's going to change. But I'll give you an update here. Brent last day, 84.88. Okay. Up about 44 cents from yesterday. And it dropped down to right at below 84 cents briefly. But I wish I had a screenshot where they said, gas prices soar as U.S. strikes in defensive maneuvers. It went up 40 cents. You know, well, actually, it went up to 85 something, 85.50, and then dropped right back down. So let's hope that keeps going. But it's looking pretty obvious. How long has that strait been not able to function properly, folks? Somebody tell me in the chats. Oh, Todd says 79.67 right now. It is dawning on people. It's dawning on people that we've been, at least, the ceasefire has been how long? 2 months? We're looking at 4 months. And like Trump said during his cabinet meeting, we got plenty of, we don't need it. But they're not going to have a nuclear weapon, period. Now, I don't know what the significance or this a signal, okay? I'll believe it when I see it in a ruling. Boom, the Supreme Court signaled it will strike down any state laws that allow ballots to be counted after Election Day. Democrats would never win another election. Like I say, I'll believe it when I see it in a ruling. They're going to claw and fight to the bitter end. And if that's the case, they will attack the Supreme Court. Here's something that ought to concern some people. Angela. Remember how many times Trump mentioned Angela? And in the 17 posts, they asked about her pedigree, her family tree. But anyway, former German Chancellor Merkel. I didn't get the video because it's all in crap, all in German. In 10 years, we hope the war in Ukraine will end. In 10 years? Want to make a bet? We'll see about that. Marco Rubio. 20 nations will take illegal aliens. The deal is, if you don't want to go back to your country, we'll show you which ones you can go to. You pick one. If you don't want to pick one, we'll pick one for you. And these are all countries that are accredited and approved through human rights things, all through the UN and all that crap, as nations that don't torture and are stable enough. So there's nothing Judge Frimpong can say about it, or any of those screwball judges. So it's going to speed up deportations. 20 nations are ready to, open arms, we'll take them. Good. Good news here from Lives of TikTok. Missouri Supreme Court upholds new congressional map, which eliminates a Democrat seat. So they're going to take it to the Supreme Court. Because I believe there's another case already going to the Supreme Court. Alabama. I don't know if I have the map of that. Alabama Supreme Court turned down the change to a non-racial districts. And wait a minute, I thought they're supposed to follow the Supreme Court, but they're not. So that's going to go to the Supreme Court. Because Trump said, if you got to have two primaries, too bad. If you got to have two elections, too bad. You're not going to have districts that are in violation of the Supreme Court ruling. Let's see. Yeah, there's no shortage of energy on the earth. And it's dawning on people. I'm glad it's down into the 70s. But the AI still said it was around $90-some, which is what people use. You know, they don't take time to read stuff. They'll hit the button on the phone and listen to what AI says. Oh, celebrate it. Oh. Let me see what this one is. Oh, this is a story on what I was telling you about, where they're making green card holders go back to their country. Your visa runs out. You can't put in an application for a green card that sits for years and sit in this country waiting. No, your visa expires. Go. Mail your green card in. Big change. It's not a change. It's a big compliance with the law. A change from lawlessness to following law.
For non-citizens living in Minnesota and elsewhere, getting a green card, becoming a lawful permanent resident, may have gotten just a little bit harder.
What is this going to mean for a lot of folks who are trying to just stay in the United States?
It is a potentially seismic shift in how this process is done.
That new memo by the Trump administration requires foreigners who want a green card to leave and apply in their home country. Formerly, applicants could do that in the U.S. Legal experts say the change could have a big impact on the 10,000 to 15,000 people in Minnesota seeking green cards.
At every floor, at every stage, they're tightening up everything. They're turning over old legal rocks that haven't been looked under in 40 years.
U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services says non-immigrants like students, temporary workers, or those with tourist visas come to the U.S. for a short time and a specific purpose. The agency says, quote, our system is designed for them to leave when their visit is over. Their visit should not function as the first step in the green card process.
What's different about this now? What's the change?
Immigration law professor Anna Patratz-Acosta says essentially it's a tightening of the rules. In some cases, U.S. CIS officers might allow interviews here. But she says there is a litmus test.
Have you not committed any crimes? Have you paid your taxes? Are you generally a good person and you're not going to be a burden on the country?
Yeah, so we're talking literally hundreds of thousands of people. Gotta go. Gotta go right now. So anyway, man, I got a lot of... I got a lot of stuff. Let's see. Here's little comment on that James Talicaro or whatever his name is. Scott Jennings. He's always good for a good comment.
And Tallarico, being popular among donors in California and New York and Massachusetts, is never going to wash off the weirdness of the gender thing, of the meat thing, of the God is non-binary, of the Bible actually, endorses abortion. All of these things, wherever you are on the issues, who talks like that? No Texan that you know actually speaks these things out loud, other than Paul. I guess tonight he's latching on, but no other Texan speaks this way.
Yeah, who the hell talks like that? It's weird because I never heard too much about this guy's political leanings. What's his name? He's in every movie known to man. Samuel Jackson. But now all of a sudden he's coming out for Karen Bass. Karen Basuro.
These are the times we need someone who understands government, who also understands the needs of the people. Someone who will go in the streets and gather the people together, not someone who will divide them. Karen Bass is that person. Karen Bass for mayor.
Well, you know what they say about some of these movie stars. They didn't get to where they go unless they do certain things. Or get involved with certain whatevers, you know. A crooked politician, Joe Biden. Trump called him a crooked. Remember his first debate? He said, "You're a crooked politician, Joe." That was their first debate. Joe Biden sues the DOJ to stop the release of audio recordings connected to special counsel probe. Boy, won't that be a hoot when it gets out. How is CNN going to hide that? Or are they going to have a special on it? Wait a minute. Where's the one word? Jill Biden. Here she is. Here's what Jill Biden said. She thought Joe was having a stroke. That the debate scared her. Well, if it scared you, what do you think we thought if he was going to be president?
Were you horrified as you saw it unfold?
I wasn't horrified, I was frightened because I had never, ever seen Joe like that before or since. Never.
Or since?
Yes, or
You've
since.
never seen him like
never.
that?
No.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
You believe that? That she's never seen him like that before or since? Just a fluke. Here, Trump puts this up. I think it's the second time he put this one up. There you got Hunter Biden snorting lines down there. Ha ha! Yeah, Hillary. Who's involved there? Brock, Hillary. Who's that on the side? That must be Kamala, I guess. I don't know. And then you got Hunter Biden doing his snowblow or whatever they call it. I don't know. Huh. Here's James Talicaro. What's his name? Stephen Miller put out a funny post on X. He said it was the first tranny candidate or something like that. Where'd he go? I'm looking for it. Here he is. Here he is. The Democrats made history in Texas by nominating their first transgender Senate candidate. Fired up, ready to go. It's time to take back Texas. Well, he said he was transitioning. He showed a picture of Talicaro, a campaign ad where he's eating a chicken wing or a turkey wing or something at a fundraiser, transitioning from a non-meat eater to a meat eater. But anyway, here's another video people put up. Laura Lewin put it up. Let me see.
There is a secret police force terrorizing our neighbors all over the state and all over this country. ICE shot a mother in the face. ICE kidnapped a 5-year-old boy. ICE executed a man in broad daylight on our streets before our very eyes. It is time to tear down this secret police force and replace it with an agency that is actually going to focus on public safety.
It's anyone, but you're right, we're not perfect. And the Biden administration failed us on our southern border. And I remember talking to my colleagues who represented these border communities, and they were telling me about the utter chaos in these communities because of those policies. And it was unacceptable. And I think...
Yeah, what changed you, Talicaro? What changed you? And see, that reinforces what I said. You know, to deal with them, those protesters, as big as a pain it is right now, and not give them any YouTube moments or whatever, video moments, and take care of them later. Another new Paxson ad hits Talacaro. Let me see what we got here. I'm going to play this ad, folks. Well, let's all hope for the best for our friends we hadn't seen tonight. Miss Minder Sue, and I didn't see Wayne. Let's hope that they're okay, right? And everybody that is facing challenges, especially health challenges, I hope you all do well, do better. And I'm not doing too hot myself. That's why I wasn't sure if I was going to broadcast tonight. I might get into it tomorrow night a little bit, but anyway, we shall see. I have put a link to buy me a coffee in the description, and I appreciate everybody that helped out with in the chats. Everybody that helped out with buy me a coffee, I really appreciate it. Helps support the channel. That's why you don't have to skip through ads, because I'm not monetized. So anyway, folks, I'm going to play this ad about Ken Paxson put it out. So anyway, what do I always say? I say, thank you for spending your precious time with me. And I should be going live tomorrow night. You know, maybe not. We shall see. But if you're subscribed and hit the notification bell, you'll know when I go live, right? So anyway, again, thank you for spending your precious time with me. Enjoy this video, and I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
This is Texas. This is not.
There are many more than 2 biological sexes. In fact, there are 6.
This is Texas. This is not.
The American flag is such a complicated symbol for most of us.
This is Texas. This is not.
They're going to call me a radical leftist.
This is Texas. This is not.
Something that you love that's not family or friends.
I love, I'm just saying this because it's on my mind, the trans children.
This is Texas. This is not.
Our southern border should be like our front porch. There should be a giant welcome mat out front.
This is Texas. This is not.
It is now existential that we try to reduce our meat consumption. I am proud to say that our campaign has officially become a non-meat campaign.
This is Texas. This is not.